garden friends, it's Lori and welcome to my garden. And as you can see from the intro to this video, all right, you guys, it's wide open. I took out all the cleome, a few of the dahlias. It was time. The bumblebees were not, they weren't on the flowers anymore, and it's October and they needed to go. I have got such a busy month, and I just wanted to go ahead and at least get this garden space cleaned up. And there's a couple reasons. If you saw my prior video, I had to take out a big rose that was here. It was so sad. And then I've got a couple other things that I need to do in this space. This garden bed, it's new. This was its first year. And so there's some things I need to move around and rethink. I also kind of have this corner that is also new. So if you like my content and you go all the way back to probably April, you'll know that I was working from kind of my water hydrant over to revamp this space. And it's still a work in progress. My goal is to not have to fill in with annuals. I like some annuals, but I've just installed my new raised beds. So almost all my dahlias will be up there next year. So they will not be in this garden area, which is also really going to open up this garden. But let me walk you around this garden space. Now that it's cleaned out, I have some new plants I'm going to add, and I'm going to be moving some things around. So let me just give you an idea of what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna then get to work and I'll show you the final layout. Not final, but at least final for this fall. All right, let me turn around and give you a look. Okay, so let me show you up close of this garden space. So right now it looks quite a mess. This again was a brand new garden bed, and I of course had that huge rose right here that is gone. But removing all that annual cleome really allows me to see the space with fresh eyes and really think about what it needs. So I've talked about it in many videos. We are going to be putting a border. I just have to find the plants. I really want probably the inkberry holly, but I just don't want to buy quart size. So I'm trying to see if I can get my hands on the gallon size. It may be spring before we can do it. But because of that, I do need to move the salvia and the lamb's ear. They're kind of in the way. But I want to show you as we come around, I had originally wanted a little sweet path back through. I don't like that hydrangea right there, so I'm definitely going to move her. But I want to show you the other side because I think this is a tale of two garden spaces. And I also think that when you have a bigger garden space, it's great to divide it. You may use the same plants, but to think about them in kind of quadrants. So if you look at this quadrant, it's actually filling in really nicely. So what I'm going to do is gather the plants that I want to move, and we're going to reuse them, and we're going to reuse them in this space. But I just want to think about this space differently. So again, I'm going to look at it with fresh eyes. I've got lots to work with. So I'm just going to get in here and play, you guys. I am not going to worry about this space right now. I may think about it some more as I go, but I'm just going to play. I do have some new plants that I want to add as I'm working. So let me show you those real quick. All right, so I recently picked up two candy corn spireas because again, I love them. They are such a beautiful kind of filler plant. They're no maintenance. They have this gorgeous chartreuse color. This one gets a little bit of the orange leaf on it, so that's why it's called candy corn. I absolutely love it. Now there's a perennial I want to add, and this is Heartstrings. Designer Threads Heartstrings. It's a coreopsis, but look at these colors. I really want a little pop of burgundy in this garden bed. Now I have some new hydrangeas, but those are not going to go in this space. The other that I want to plant is a perennial called Red Fox. It's a Speedwell Veronica. I love Veronica. They do great for us here. This one has these magenta kind of red spikes, and they get a little bit taller, and it attracts pollinators. So I'm going to try to decide where I want to put those in the garden area. It is a gorgeous day in the garden. The skies are blue, beautiful. It is a crisp fall day, and I am just going to dig in and get started. I'll flip the camera around, I'll let it play as I'm working, and then I'll show you what I got done and some of my thoughts as to why, and hopefully it all comes together and makes sense. All right, let's get started, you guys. All right, good morning, everybody. It is the next day. So I worked so hard yesterday. It got a little hot, and this space is in full sun. So I did pause in the afternoon. I came back in the evening and got some more things done. But it's sometimes good in a project like this to take a break so you can come back and really look at what you're doing. So today, this morning, what I need to do is I've got a couple more plants to move along this edge. So I've got the Nepeta and a Salvia. I need to move those. I've got some Ajuga plugs to kind of pop in. And I've got the Speedwell to plant in the back. But overall, I am really happy with how it's coming together. And you know what? The biggest surprise has been, I think not having the rows really allowed me to see the space differently and to look at it with fresh eyes and kind of open it up. And I actually really like it. So I only put the rows there because it was really only the space I had at the time. I had already started this garden bed, and I've kind of just dumped plants in as I've had time. So as I come around where the rows used to be, I've been able to make some big changes. So what I want to do this morning, I'm going to finish planting up. I'm going to mulch just this side of the container, and then I'll give you a final tour and tell you about everything that I got planted. So I had some Ajuga plugs left that I had ordered, I think from Great Garden Plants. I will include the link to the Ajuga in my description of this video. So this was a set of 62 plugs, and this is the chocolate chip Ajuga. And I love the chocolate chip. It kind of mounds, it doesn't branch and kind of creep. It just kind of mounds and is really beautiful. It has that dark chocolate kind of color in it with the green. So they're just little plugs. They are absolutely fantastic. It was, I think, a great deal. I think it was like $100 for 62 plugs. And I'm just going to use my Hori Hori knife to come in and just pop these into the garden. So I'm just trying to add as much ground cover as I can, especially when I redo garden spaces, so that it starts to spread. It means less mulch, it means shade protection, and it's just good for the garden all the way around. So that was the next part of this redo. All right, friends. Well, I got this project in a really good place. It took about 2 mornings, a couple hours in the afternoon. I did get it mulched. I still need to cut some things back, but overall, I feel really good with how the space is shaping up. We do still need to find our hedge plant. So if you have some ideas on something that would make a nice, low, easy hedge, there's a lot of boxwoods out there, but I really don't want a boxwood that's going to bronze. It has to be trimmed a lot. So I'm thinking about the inkberry holly. I think that's what it's called. It stays small and compact, and I think that would just be really simple, but add a nice clean hedge. So the sun is about to shine full on this bed. So let me show you what I got done today and how I envision it for next spring and summer. All right, and thanks so much for watching. If you are new to my channel, I'm so glad you're here. If you'll take a minute, if you've been watching my videos, to click subscribe, it would really help me out, but also let you get notifications of my videos. So I will, let's get started touring this garden. Okay, so I wanted to show you the garden all finished. Now, it's been hot today. I had to come back out when the sun went down. Everything needs a good dose of water. But starting in this corner, I was able to transplant the iris. It's right there under the little dome. That's just so I'll remember it in the spring. You can see here is the little lime punch, and it basically now has a big, nice area to grow. I did transplant a salvia. I added these 3 Chicago Hardy boxwoods. These will just mound. I am not going to trim them in the future. So in the spring, they will leaf out and be really lush and beautiful. And I think they'll be a nice frame in this area, just kind of framing this corner. The rose will kind of go um, right right where that rose branch is hanging down. So this little rose is going to have to get moved to a container. This container will go bye-bye. I'm just waiting for all these dahlia blooms to finish. There's just so many buds. So probably in another couple weeks, I will empty that for this season. So I'm over time, over the next couple weeks, I'm going to be moving these boxwoods to other spots so that when we get our new hedge, everything will kind of line up. And I am not sure yet if I'm going to do a hedge across this area. It's going to depend on how many boxwoods or hollies I can get and how much they're going to cost me. So I may end up just doing some low growing lavender or napata or something like that along the front. I just haven't decided yet. Okay, so I did plant a cat's pajama here. It's definitely needing some water. And again, I think the biggest change to this area is the pathway. So without that rose there, it really opened up this space. So I've got the early evolution hydrangea, and then there's one in the back. And these will get, they're going to mound. I will have to monitor it if I put a holly here, but I think there's still plenty of room. And then I did reduce the lamb's ear. I can reduce it even more in the spring, but usually there's some dieback. Then I planted, just kind of squeezed in some salvia there. I added this brand new spirea. This is the candy corn, and I love it. I have this throughout my garden, so it provides consistency. It's no maintenance, and I think it'll be beautiful. And then on either side of the container, I added those better boxwoods. They do need to be shaped. I'm just waiting it to cool down a little bit, and then I will shape them into cones. Now they're kind of one-sided because they were pushed up against some other plants, but they'll shape up. So really like how around the container is coming together. This is a low cat's mint nepeta, so it will just kind of mound. I have a mounding, I'm not sure if this is chocolate chip or another type of ajuga, so I added that there. And then I did move this, I think it's a summerific hydrangea. So there's two. There's one here and there's one behind it. I am going to treat this in early spring before it blooms. So probably like May, and hope that I can reduce the fungicide. I'm going to use a copper fungicide. I read online and a lot of people have had success with that. So I'm going to give it one more year. And then coming around through the path, I did cut everything back. So I have some new iris right there that we'll see how they look next year. That'll be some height in the early spring. This is a salvia that I did cut back. I have some rudbeckia, and then I did add in that chocolate chip ajuga just throughout this space. This is where the coreopsis went. It's cut back. Some more ajuga that I moved. It was kind of tucked away and you couldn't see it. And then I just kind of popped all the salvia in back here. Roses, salvia does really well near roses. The sulfur helps with black spot. So I kind of thought putting these around where the rose is going to go will be perfect. I transplanted some more lamb's ear. And then this is where the speedwell went in the back. And then you can see this area right here is a little deceiving right now because all the hydrangeas are kind of flopped over. So once those mature next year, I think that space will be really nice. Here's another candy corn spirea that I have. This plant's amazing. It does great in the shade. It does great in full sun. So no complaints. And I think that these low green spireas will spread a little. I do want to get some more ajuga to put around this hydrangea, just kind of, and even pop some in this corner. I just really want to fill with ground cover. And then while we're here, look at these sweet little candy corn dahlias. Oh my gosh, they have just been a dream this season. So you can see the size of this early evolution. It will get larger and hopefully it kind of fills out maybe all the way around. Here's where I put some of that ajuga around it. So here's a larger view of this space. And without the rose, it really helped me think about it differently. And I really think giving some things some space, they're going to get nice fertilizer in the spring. I did give them some biotone when I planted. I think if I can keep everything alive, it is just going to be beautiful. And then once I get this hedge, I think it will really bring this space together. So I can just imagine a hedge on both sides, just keeping everything really neat. We do have to measure the grass. I think this side is pretty straight, but this side has gotten a little messed up and it's a little wider. So we are going to clean that up and hopefully our grass starts coming back. We had a bad fungus this year and it's really hurt our grass. We had never had that issue before. But overall, really pleased with all the work that I got done. I've still got to find homes for these guys, but I will. I've got 6 more. I do have some space down our driveway, so I may be adding them there.